mountain range. So, my final last few things, I think is kind of a comical one. Just to leave on a light note here after all this heavy weight with material, is what I call iconic U.S. production images. One of the most famous images to come out of World War II was a poster of Rosie the Riveter. However, well intended to personify the industrial might and national participation of the American worker, in this case women in the workforce, a more accurate image needs to be created. And this is where I was sort of stunning when I found out what the women who were hired in the war plants in 1940s in the United States, what they actually wound up doing, as opposed to what the posters alluded that they were doing. Based on the typical tasks undertaken by women as they were trained to do in the war plants, welding was far more common a job for women than riveting. The harsh action of the rivet gun was more than eagerly exchanged for the lighter, more nuanced work of welding. So Wanda the Welder is probably a far more iconic and accurate image than Rosie the Riveter. And I found that was very interesting because whenever I would email or talked about women, what they did in the war plants, as well, I was a secretary of this. Well, no, I want to talk about what did you manufacture? Oh, I know somebody. Very few turned out to be riveters. The majority of them were very skilled, highly skilled, matter of fact, welders. Welding, if you've ever done welding, especially with steel or armor plate, is very, very detail-oriented. Women had the patience to make sure the welds were correct, even when they were checked by X-ray examination, which they were, especially for critical welds under pressure items like boilers. Women did a first-class job compared to the men welders. They had the patience to do that. They're not worried about production. They said, I want to do the job right. Because a lot of them had sons, uncles, fathers, husbands in the war, and their job was try to make the best possible product they could. It was an interesting dichotomy they had there.